Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Nancy Drew playing through. This is Ghost of Thornton Hall. It's one of the creepier ones. It's got, some jump scares. I may swear a little bit, so this video is not appropriate for children or anyone who does not appreciate someone saying shit when there's a ghost. This is gonna be a lot closer to BuzzFeed Unsolved, supernatural, ghost hunting, than it will a chill video. That's not even true. But at times, hey demons, it's me, ya boy! Okay, let's play. We're gonna do with Amateur Sleuth because talking and hint list, and it's easier.
What time is it?
Late.
Savannah? Is that you? What's wrong?
I got a case for you.
Can it wait until later?
I'm sorry, it can't. There's been a kidnapping. A girl just a little older than you.
Shouldn't the police be taking care of this?
There's only so much they can do, and she needs to be found before something bad happens.
What do you mean?
The call came in for me, but I can't go. Thornton Hall is a dangerous place for people like me.
Ghost hunters, you mean? So people think it's haunted?
They know.
They know.
Jessalyn needs someone who ain't afraid to run after her. That ain't me. What I'm asking of you is dangerous.
After everything you did for me in Japan, I'll do it.
Thank you. Drive to the airport now. I'll arrange a ticket. And Nancy, I didn't call you just because you're a good detective. I called you because you're a skeptic. Thornton Hall is no place for anyone who believes.
Then you called the right detective.
I'm serious. You think long and hard about that before you get on that plane. If what you find on the island is going to get to you, don't go. Stay home.
Don't worry, I'm on the case.
With allergies.
You sure about this?
I am.
Watch yourself around the Thorntons. They earn their bad reputation.
Well, thanks for being concerned. I should be okay.
Well, it depends who's here. Hope for your sake Wade's not skulking around. Or that loony bin reject Harper. But it's Charlotte you best watch for. Black Rock Island belongs to her now. Has ever since the night the fire took her. Take care now.
Thanks for the creepy news. Loving this aesthetic. Looks straight up like New Orleans. Creepiness with the fog on the ground.
Jessalyn?
No.
Excuse me?
Sorry. Of course you're not. I'm just tired.
No, don't be. I'm Nancy.
You're here to help?
Savannah Woodham called me in. She seems to think there's a supernatural explanation to Jessalyn's disappearance.
A couple of days back, that would have earned an eye roll. I'm Colton, the fiancé. Welcome to Thornton Hall. I'd extend you all the courtesies of the Thornton clan, but we seem to be about 20 years too late for that. You might need this. I found it in the house.
Also, you're not a Thornton, so you can't offer the greetings of Thornton clan.
Is this Jessalyn's?
Yeah. It's dead, though. And the charger got mangled by something. Maybe you could channel all that inquisitive energy into seeing if you can get that old phone back up and running.
Sarcastic. I don't know if you're just tired or if this is your natural personality, but I don't know if we'll find out either.
Were you and Jessalyn getting married soon?
Yes?
Any chance this is just pre-wedding jitters?
She might have had second thoughts about the wedding. Trust me, everyone does. But she never let anyone worry about her like this. She loved her family more than anything.
Yes, but sometimes, if you love someone, you must let them go. Run away from their fiancé, who might be a little scary.
Is it safe to assume you had second thoughts about the wedding?
I never said that.
True, but you implied it. You said, trust me, everyone does.
I know. I remember it like it was just moments ago.
Sassy Drew and her new sassy partner, the Southern Boy.
See you later.
Bye.
Now, I know most of the characters in this video game are gonna have one of those nice Southern accents, you know, the ones that the movies think everyone in the South talks like, but I assure you, no. Some Southerners you cannot understand. Like, they speak another language, and I am just not privy to it.
You must be Nancy.
Yes, you must be Clara, Jesselyn's mother.
Yes.
I want you to know that I'm here to help you with anything you need.
That's real sweet, hon.
I know you may not want me here since you didn't actually call me yourself.
So long as you help me find Jesselyn, you're welcome under what's left of my roof here.
What's left of your roof? There are a lot of questions.
Who did Jesselyn come here with?
Addison. I tried talking to her, but she was a wreck. Here.
Why can no one just hand me things?
She'll have calmed down a bit by now. I hope.
Just stick it in my butt pocket. I give you permission. Stick it in there.
What do you think happened to Jesselyn?
You wouldn't know by the look of this dump, but we're worth a great deal of money. Well, that's what I thought this was. But then, no, not yet at least. I can't believe I'm praying for a ransom note to show up. It's like someone's trying to punish us.
Well, why do you say that?
Thornton Hall was once something truly beautiful. But so much greed and tragedy built up in these walls that when they started to crumble, I wanted to save this place, make it mine. But I couldn't. So whoever took Jessie wanted us to sit here in this broken-down old house waiting for her.
Yes, they just wanted you to suffer in this moldy, termite-infested house. I'm really sorry, Ktito. I told you no accents, and yet they're coming out.
Is there any chance Jesselyn's disappearance could be cold feet?
My Jessie would never put her family through this nightmare, never.
Were things good between Colton and Jesselyn?
They had their rows and their romantic dinners, same as any couple. Colton had well, hon, he had some issues, but they worked through them.
He had some issues. Really? I want to know what his issues are.
You mentioned that Colton had some issues. What did you mean?
To put it delicately, family issues. Never you mind, it has nothing to do with what's going on now.
How do you know? It could. One of them could have kidnapped her. Unless they're all dead.
Why is everyone here? Shouldn't we be out searching for Jesselyn?
I closed down the company. The entire staff is out combing the woods. I said, sit home or join the search. You get paid either way. Not a soul stayed home. Jesselyn grew up in the business. She's got a lot of people looking out for her. I can be thankful for that. The police recommended a presence here. They said we'd have a better chance of noticing if something was off here, knowing the place and all.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Take care.
Okay. Now I'm going to look at this painting of Hiram Thornton from 1867 to 1937. And then we got Jeb Thornton, lived till 1901, and Sarah Emma Wakeman, who I'm assuming became a Thornton, who lived until 1887, but she only lived to be 45. That's not old at all. Now we look in here. Espionage in a bonnet. Which is basically all about females in the Civil War. So I'm going to go ahead and read it out loud, but if you want to skip this, there will be no spoilers or anything else in here, basically. In 1794, Eli Whitney changed the course of U.S. history when he invented the cotton gin. It was a machine which performed the quick separation of cotton seeds from the cotton itself. This labor-saving device revolutionized the plantation economy of the South, cementing its dependence on slavery and setting the country on the path to civil war. When the first shots of war were fired in 1861, both the Union and the Confederacy turned to espionage to try to gain the upper hand. The famous generals and leaders of the war are well remembered today, but they couldn't have accomplished what they did without the female spies who played a shadowy part in obtaining state secrets. Now, before I read the real stories, there is a show on Netflix called The Pinkertons. This isn't an ad, I just love the show. It only got 1 season, but it does have a female Pinkerton spy working with the son of Pinkerton. So it's pretty interesting. They talk about the Civil War spycraft quite often in that one. Now, for our first spy, Rose Greenhow. Wild Rose Greenhow was a member of Washington's elite society and loyal to the South. When war broke out, she used her social connections to obtain classified information, which she then passed along in code to the Confederacy. Intelligence gathered by Rose was hidden in the hair of a female courier, and this helped General P.G.T. Beauregard win the First Battle of Bull Run. Though she was later watched by the Union and eventually placed under house arrest, Rose continued her intelligence work and became one of the most renowned female spies of the war. Harriet Tubman, best known for her role in leading slaves to freedom through the Underground Railroad, Harriet Tubman also served as a spy for the Union while working as a nurse in South Carolina. She recruited former slaves to act as scouts who collected intelligence on the location and movement of rebel troops, reporting this back to the Union. Which makes sense, because, let's help the not slavery side. Belle Boyd. Maria Belle Boyd came to the attention of the Confederacy early in the war when she shot and killed a Union soldier who had threatened her mother. Although only 17, her self-confidence and wish for vengeance led her to become a spy. Belle found the flirtatious behavior, which was cause for concern among her peers, could be used to an advantage as an undercover femme fatale. After beguiling Union soldiers into telling her classified information, she forwarded this intelligence to the Confederacy. Belle became a courier herself, even personally delivering messages to General T.J. Stonewall Jackson. She was arrested repeatedly, but refused to let incarceration stop her, and remained a Confederate spy throughout the war. Can you imagine? You're like, you might have captured me, but YOLO, I'm still gonna do it! Elizabeth Van Lew. A prominent Virginian, Elizabeth Van Lew was proud of her roots, but opposed to both slavery and secession. When Union prisoners arrived at Richmond's Libby prison, Elizabeth succeeded in gaining permission to bring books, food, and medicine to the incarcerated men. Information passed between Elizabeth and the prisoners through secret compartments in dishes and hidden messages in books. When the Union heard of her work, they quickly recruited Elizabeth as an official spy. With her Richmond connections in society and the prison, as well as her personal network of agents, Elizabeth sent her intelligence work to General Ulysses S. Grant, written in codes and invisible ink, providing invaluable information to the Union cause. Sarah Emma Emmons. Wow, Sarah Emma Emmons. You try saying that 5 times fast. Was one of approximately 400 women who fought in the Civil War, like a Banff, as a man. Cutting her hair short, adopting men's clothing, and taking the alias Franklin Thompson, Sarah joined the Union Army's 2nd Michigan Infantry. She initially served as a male nurse, but soon turned her talents at undercover work to spying. Wearing elaborate guises, from an Irish woman to a male slave, she infiltrated Confederate lines. She maintained her persona as Franklin Thompson until she contracted malaria and had to leave the Army for medical treatment. Since seeking help with an army doctor would have revealed her true identity. Sarah eventually received an honorable discharge from the Army with a bonus and a pension under her true name, and was the sole woman member admitted to the Grand Army of the Republic following the war. Why don't we talk about her more often? That's really cool. I didn't know that. These women and countless others played a critical part for both the Union and the Confederate causes. The female agents of the Civil War used the spy tech of the 1860s, such as ciphers, invisible inks, secret compartments, and even the rumored self-destructor, which would destroy its own contents if opened correctly, to prove that women were as capable as men when it came to espionage. Sometimes more so, because those ladies were wearing some corsets and lots of pockets and giant skirts, and men did not inspect women of any sort of actual means that closely in those days because, well, that was improper. You don't touch ladies like that. The long, cold night on Black Rock. The years of plenty would soon be upon the Thornton clan, but they would not come without a price. In order to keep a close watch on the production facility, Jeb had a small factory built on the Black Rock property. He did not foresee the potentially disastrous possibilities. When the winds grew cold and the waves made passage back to the mainland difficult, the workers were granted permission to stay overnight in the factory. And then there's a bunch crossed out, and it just says none survived. Sarah was the first to enter the factory the morning after the accident and never recovered from the shock of what she found within. Many within the town held Sarah in high regard for her kind, open nature. The employees in particular had an unwavering appreciation for Sarah, who had taken on the role of caregiver once the factory moved onto the island, affectionately calling her Nana. She'd visit the factory twice a day with bread and treats, even offering a warm bed in the main house to any employee who fell ill. Shortly after the tragedy, Jeb began construction of a housing unit for inclement weather and immediately restaffed the factory, despite Sarah's wishes. While Jeb seemed justifiably upset, he was determined to maintain the family business no matter what. When the new employees arrived on the island, Sarah retired to her room, refusing to leave until her death a few years later. It's been said that a handwritten note found in her pocket read, "We have sown the black seeds of death, and forevermore will harvest only blood." Evidence suggests that this note may have been fabricated, but the chilling message remains a popular element of Thornton lore. Jeb was hit hard by the loss of his wife, but remained steadfast in his attempts to grow the family business into something worth the tragic cost of the lives it had taken. Jeb's drive became somewhat of a family trait after his passing a few years later, as did Sarah's discomfort with the business. In the generations to come, a dogged dedication to the company or queasiness with their ill-gotten wealth became the two defining characteristics of the Thornton clan. Even the most beloved family members eventually had to choose a side. Well, that's sad. Is there anything in here? So these are the two people that were talked about in the Black Rock thing. This is the one who was very sad. This is the one who was like, yeah, money. Okay. Let's go make some tea. We're gonna pour some tea in there. And then make sure it's sweet tea because we're in the South. So if you drink it any other way, you're wrong. But only in the South. Only in the South. You gotta get diabetes with your tea in the South. Delicious. And Nancy makes no comment about how sugary that was. I'm just gonna pick up a bunch of oranges. I don't know why yet, but Nancy wants some. Maybe she's hungry.